Okay. So we're dealing with quadratic equations. Okay, so we're going over quadratic equations. So saying quadratic equations, that is 2. So our main focus is equations that you're going to find on quadratic equations in paper 2, and there's only one formula that you're supposed to know. For me, I take those as free marks for you, seeing that you're given a formula. Your duty is just to identify and substitute in the formula, simplify, work them out. Justice happens, then you get 2 answers. So the formula you're going to meet is this: x is equals to negative b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. This is the formula you're going to meet. You don't even need to master it. It is already given. It's given to you for free. Okay. So now, what is a quadratic equation? A quadratic equation is anything in this form: x squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. When you have this is what we call a quadratic equation. Why is it called a quadratic equation? Quad, this word quad, let's break it down. Quad 2. So the highest power of x in this equation is 2. That's why we call it a quadratic equation. Now there are some questions where it won't come direct in this form. You have to make it to look like this. It's supposed to make it look like this. But you're going to be lucky if you'll be given a question that is straightforward, such that you're just supposed to identify, oh, this is a, actually this is going to be a, x squared plus bx plus c, where I just identify to say, oh, a is this, b is this, c, and take note, you have to get it with its sign. So here, if we had negative, you're going to say negative b. Get it the way it's going to be. So so this a, so we say where, so we say a, b, and c, we call them, these are what? These are coefficients. Coefficients meaning the numbers in front of these variables, the variable x here, and this c is a constant, it's a number, also it's a coefficient. A and b, these are coefficients. Then c is a constant, of which we know to say is going to be automatically what? A number. So I'm going to give you about let me say 3 situations on how they're going to bring such questions. So the first one, let's take this one. Our first example there. For example, so the question will come, they always tell you to say solve the equation. So I'm going to give you 3 examples. Okay, we have 3 simple examples, of which the first one and the second one and the third one, though the first one and the second one are just straightforward. Just have to identify what a is, what b is, and we do justice. Okay, let's start. So say solution. So the first one is 2x squared minus 13x plus 14 equating to what? 0. So we identify what a is. So a here is positive 2, this is a. Then b here is going to be this is b, negative what? 13. We're getting the numbers. Then c is the constant, the last number there, which is positive what? 14. So we have those now. So let's now use the formula. So we'll say x is equals to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So let's now just substitute. There's nothing hard, you just substitute. So we say x is, we say negative, this negative is in the formula, so don't make a mistake, because you see that it's negative 13, just come and put negative 13. No, this negative 13 is for this part here. So we say negative 13, we put it in brackets like that. Good. Plus or minus the square root. So we have b there again, so we have negative 13 squared minus, for what is a is positive 2, what is c is 14, then everything there over 2, what is a is 2, like that. So we now simplify, so negative times negative is positive, so we have positive 13 plus or minus the square root, what is 13 squared, so you get your calculator there. So 13 squared, that is 169, so we have 169 minus, we say 2 times 14 is 28 times 4, that is 112, so we have 112 over 2 times 2, that is 4. So therefore you say x is equals to, maintain, we have 13 plus or minus, simplify what is in the under the root. So you say 169 minus 112, you have 57. So you have root of 57 over 4. Now we have two signs there, we have to separate them. So you come down here now, say x, you start by saying x is going to be equal to 13. You get one sign, so we get positive, you maintain root of 57 over 4. Then you come and say, oh, yeah, so here we got a positive, here we have to get what? Negative. So you have x is going to be equal to 13 minus the root of 57 over 4. So now simplify, get your calculator, don't use your head, it's paper 2, don't stress. So 13 plus the root of 57 divide by 4. So first one is giving us 5.137. So it says 3 significant figures, so 3 numbers, so x is going to be 5.1. So since the next number to 3 is greater than 5, we get a 1 and have 5.14. Then x is going to be equal to, let's compute this on a calculator, have 13 minus the root of 57 is that, divide by 4. So I have x as, so I have 13 minus root of 57 divided by 4. So I have 1.36 So now we have to get 3 numbers. So seeing that the number next to 6 is less than 5, just get it the way it is. So it's going to be 1.36. That is how we solve the first question. It's just about you identifying which one is your A, your B, and your C, and getting them with your signs. Attention to detail, very important. So we go over the second one. So the second one is okay, so we have the second one. So it is x squared minus x minus minus 19. So we say minus 19 is equal to 0. So the same thing here, we identify what A is, what B is, and what C is. So in this case, which number is in front of x squared here? So we're going to say A is 1. Here, which number is in front of this negative x? It is negative 1. The C is going to be negative 19. So you see, using the same formula, we have x is equals to negative b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac everything over to what? To a. So let's substitute now. So x is equals to, we start by writing the negative. Then what is b now? B is negative what? 1. You put it in brackets. Negative 1 plus or minus the root of, we say, negative 1 squared minus 4. What is a? A, we are saying it is 1. What is c? C is negative 19. Everything over 2. What is a? It is 1. So let's now simplify. Negative times negative, positive, plus or minus the root. What is negative 1 squared? That's just 1. Negative times negative is positive. 4 times 19 is 76 over 2. So have x is equals to 1 plus or minus the root of 1 plus 76, that is 77 over 2. Let's separate the sign. So you say x is equals to 1 minus the root of 77, or 1 plus, let's start with plus, 1 plus the root of 77 over 2, or x is equals to 1 minus the root of 77 over 2. So x, so start with this part, compute it on a calculator. 1 plus root of 77 divided by 2 is giving 4.8. I'm getting three numbers first. Let me get the three significant figures. So the number next to the third number there is greater than 5, so we get the 1. So 4.89 done. Then there x, you say 1 minus the root of 77 divided by 2 is giving us negative 3.887. So here get three numbers, 1, 2, 3. The next number is greater than 5, we get a 1. So negative 3.89. That's how we solve the second question. Okay, so now we go over the last question. This one was brought in 2021 GCE. So you're told, you're surprised to say, oh, somebody said no, a quadratic equation is in this form, should always be in this form. Yeah, it should always be in this form. So your duty here is to start by making sure that it appears like that. So how do you start? The first one is that you have to do away with that denominator there. How? You're going to multiply this denominator throughout this equation. So you're going to have x times 3x plus x times 5 over x is equals to 12 times x. That's the first step. So x times 3x is going to be 3x squared. Then x times 5 over x, that x and that x will remain with positive 5. 12 times x is 12x. It's still not in this form. So we have to make sure to say this one comes here, so to remain with this 0, that it becomes in this form. So we are saying this one maintains its position, it's just okay. Then this one is positive, crossing the equal sign becomes negative 12x. Then we have positive 5 is equals to 0. Now this one appears in this form. It is okay whether it's negative or it's just the same thing. So now it has appeared in that form. Now our duty is to identify what is a. So a there is 3. What is b? B there is negative 12. What is c? C is 5. Let's use the formula now. So x is negative b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So x is negative. So I said always start by writing the negative, then identify what b is. What is b? Negative 12. You put it in brackets. Plus or minus the root. What is b there? It's negative 12 squared minus 4. What is a? A is 3. What is c? C is 5. Over 2. What is a? A is 3. So x is negative times negative, that is positive, plus or minus. So I'll just do everything at once there. I think you know what to. So we say negative 12 squared is that minus 4 times 15, 84. So root of 84 over and 2 times 3, that is 6. Let's separate the sign. So x is going to be equals to 12 plus this root of 84 over 6, or x is equals to 12 minus the root of 84 over 6. So then we start with this part here. So x is, we say on your calculator, 12 plus the root of 84 is that, divide by 6. So it's giving 3.53. This is the first one. Then x is equals to, say, 12 minus the root of 84 divided by 6. So it's giving 0.47, 0.47, like that. So these are our two answers. So for this question, it just required you to start by making it look like the form of a quadratic equation. So it was very easy. When you reach this stage here, it's everything is easy. Just identifying what A is, what B is, then you find C. After that, just plug in the formula, work it out. Be patient. Attention to detail, always very, very important, and work on your accuracy. Okay, so these are the questions we have solved so far, and think in paper 2, with this few knowledge in paper 2, you are able to answer any question. So those 5 marks are now free marks for you if you are to understand this topic very, very well. Just this formula that you're supposed to know and identify like that, work it out, then you are done.